That was the ghost in the village.
Okay, well, we'll call the meeting in order. All right, the first item on the agenda is the approval of the minutes. Do we have any questions or comments? Or I think they're pretty simple.
I'll make a motion to approve the minutes of the March 8th, 2018 meeting.
All right, got a motion to approve or second?
Second.
Second. All in favor say aye. Aye. All right. Okay, we'll go Chief Mattingly on cost recovery program.
Okay, there's actually, I guess, two separate ordinances. The one is the false alarm fee.
Yeah.
All businesses, when we go to them, do you need pen or? You're allowed two, and then after the third one comes in, you're charged $250 for a drive. This not getting billed out, City Hall says they were putting it on the electric bill. It wasn't working that way and so forth. And then there's an ordinance where we respond to certain type of runs that we can charge the insurance company, not the individual, certain fees, and it hasn't been enforced for some time, my understanding. So this is the company that I dealt with before. They handle it all. All we do is send in the information, and that they send the bills to the insurance companies. We can get as aggressive with it as we want to, or we can say, you send them one bill. If they don't pay it, then it's dropped at that point. We don't want to go into collections or anything. In order to do the false alarm fees, we would have to sign on to do these other fees, which was already in the ordinance, just different prices. And the prices they gave us are the national averages, they say, on what they do.
I'm sorry.
I was gonna say, they have an 80% collection rate, and they retain 20% of what they collect, and then the rest is forwarded to the fire department.
I mean, I haven't heard this for a while, but it used to be every other week we'd have an issue about false alarms. I know the nursing home was the number one back then. It's been 10 years since it's been brought up.
Really?
But
Okay.
it used to be like every other week or something about,
Oh, really? Is it?
you know,
Yeah.
so-and-so did. they had a
I
false
think
alarm.
pretty much it's just gotten dropped now, that we just make it,
Well, I thought
goes
maybe-
along with it.
I thought maybe all of them got in line.
There's a few that we still seem to go to regularly.
Well, false alarms are about your number one run in it. Category?
It's probably getting close. Getting real close. Now, this would be false alarm, just the alarm system.
Alarm system,
Right, yeah. Yeah, nobody would be charged if we went to it just because somebody thought they saw smoke coming from their house or something. Now, in this proposal too, no one in Bardstown or Nelson County would ever be charged. This would only be people outside of the county.
But they are charged on false alarm.
Yes, it's actually two different groups, right? The false alarm would pertain to anybody in city limits, but this collection of like car wrecks or car fires or hazmats, that would only pertain to anyone outside of Nelson County.
Look like the city of residents are paying it through their property taxes and are paying for the fire department. And county residents, we have mutual aid with the county, which I guess, and so this would be people driving through on, I guess, I didn't look, we would apply this even if we were called mutual aid to the county like that on the boot?
And my suggestion is no, we can do it if we wanted to and stuff, but if they call us for assistance, it's up to us if we do want to do it or not.
Yeah, then if we call them into the city on fire, then they would get a bill from us and the county then, I guess.
I'm not sure how much the county's billing.
If they did, I mean, if they, I'm just assuming they may follow suit.
Right.
Then, if we do it, they may.
And like I said, this would only go to the insurance companies. It does not go to the individuals at all.
That's what I'm saying.
No, only to.
But somebody dropped this up one other time. Yeah, this is.
And there's some things that we had dropped out of their proposal, like the fire chief's response. To me, that's silly. I'm not going to charge somebody for me making a run. So I don't think it's necessary. I'm not there to run up the bill on them.
And, well, the other thing, of course, we have residents in the city of Barton and Nelson County. Of course, you have a lot of businesses that might own a car, like a lot of people have small businesses that are incorporated, so I guess if they have a physical location here or something, I don't know if we want to exempt that as well.
My recommendation would be to.
Yeah, because they're paying if they own real estate here, or they have employees, or if they have any business here, they have to pay the occupational tax, so. And then, of course, I talked to you about, maybe the issue is that, when we doubled when the occupational tax was doubled, I heard several complaints from people that live outside the county that come in here and work, so, well, we don't get any benefit from that. You ought to raise property taxes or something else. And I didn't know, if somebody that pays the occupational tax, well, we ought to exempt them or not, Okay, I'm throwing that out as an issue, so.
It's just like somebody that works at GE or UPS or Ford or somewhere like that, or the city of Louisville, for that matter, they've been paying higher occupation license fees forever. So that's a big argument with the person who opposed the occupation license fee. They said, well, a lot of people work outside the city. They said, what are y'all crying about?
Yeah.
We've been paying it for years, and it's only 0.5%.
Yeah, I think we're one of the lowest percentages right now.
And one percentage is low, but, so, it all balances out.
It does.
All right, and then,
Like I said, this is just mainly trying to go back and enforce the ordinances. The ordinances would have to be reworded some and updated, like you're still saying, Bardstown, Nelson County Volunteer Fire Departments, they're going to change to just City of Bardstown Fire Department. Then all of our fees would have to change on it.
This ordinance has been in the books for years.
Yes.
but now Tim, I think, is working on the ordinance, right? I talked to him.
Yes, he's looked at it, he's got some ideas on it, some suggestions on it, and so forth, but I haven't gotten a copy back yet from him.
Now, the ordinance, I guess we would put it about, we need to put in the ordinance about contracting with the company to collect it. That would be an executive decision, I think, that would do that. We don't have to have that in the ordinance, but the fees and everything would have to be in there. I don't think we want to put that in ordinance, so in future, if we do get where we can bill it or handle it in the house, that we don't want to change the ordinance. I don't think it's just.
You wouldn't have to change the ordinance, you just have to, the councils have to mayor approve it during the contract.
Yeah.
Whatever this company is. But the ordinance.
Fire Recovery USA is actually
It's been on the books for years.
And there's a couple companies out, and I've talked to them, but said I've had experience with this company myself, and they're great to work with, they do a great job,
And when you look at have to train somebody to work with insurance companies and locate them and find them and do all that, and the time it takes, 20% is not bad.
not bad at all.
And if they work there, if they work on a pure percentage, they've got the incentive to go ahead and get it. And then, of course, some of these charges, I guess you use some discretion, like the false alarm charge. After the third time, somebody's having a new installation issue that they're diligently working on it or something, then you might,
Well, a good example is like we had one business, it malfunctioned 7, 8 o'clock at night, and of course you can't get your alarm company to come till the next morning. Well, it went off 2 or 3 more times before the alarm company could get there. We would do that to them.
yeah. Any questions? I guess
It's a win-win, really.
the thing we would be looking at is whether we want to make a motion to support an ordinance to do that. First, pending the final wording of the ordinance and everything, make a recommendation to council, I guess, to do it.
Like I said, this ordinance is already on the books, it's just a matter of picking a company and agreeing to pick a company and present it to the council.
Oh, I found the one on the false alarm, but I didn't see the one with all the has-beens.
Yeah, there's
Is that it?
one that.
My gosh.
Yes.
Usually, okay.
It doesn't have a date on it, but like you said, it was years ago.
Oh, yeah,
that it
I
came up.
remember well.
Okay, so you're looking to increase it to these
Correct, yes.
charges?
yeah.
Okay. All right. Okay, so this is what Tim has drafted.
That was the original one that's on the books now.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he's working on updating it.
Okay. I read through the fire protection, and there must be in another yeah, it's in the 3626 user fire ordinance, I think it's chapter 95 or something, somewhere around there.
Police and fire, but I think it's all in.
Yeah, somewhere. So you're just looking to increase the fees?
Right.
Maybe we'll do two separate motions. One would be to make a motion on the new fees, and another one would be recommendation to hire another company to enforce, to collect it.
The false alarm fees would remain the same, they're not changing it.
So what are our collection rates on all these things now?
This company says there's 80%.
No, I mean,
Right now, we're
to the zero. We're not collecting anything.
Right, no, it's not being billed out at all.
80% of something is better than
That's correct.
zero.
That's what it's been, yeah.
And I think when they were putting it on the electric bill, they said collection was very low. I mean, and once again, the people are not really even gonna see this, they won't even know it, it goes straight to their insurance companies.
You know, I mean, your first thought is, well, we got a billing system here within the city, well, I'll just add it on and do it, but this is a lot more than just billing out. This is finding insurance companies, getting the reports and locating it, and it's,
And this is built into your auto policies and other insurance policies and stuff, so
Well, even
it's
though-
already there.
even a non-citizen, it's not money out of their pocket. It's
Yeah, it's not any of those whatsoever.
it's money we're just not getting.
Chief, I have a question.
Yes, ma'am.
So how far back would they be able to go for collections?
I don't think we would go back in at all. I think once this got approved, we would start at that point in time, at that date and stuff.
You could probably go back at least 5 years if you wanted to.
Well, I'm just saying, since it doesn't cost, us really anything, I think that would be a great idea.
That'd be a question I'll ask the company and then check into.
If they could go back and do
Right.
that.
Okay.
At least 5, I would have, I mean, for the general, and maybe more than that. I think it would be at least 5, I'd have to look that up.
And I'll check into it. and let
It's
you know.
a year.
Tim can look that up, he's
Yes.
he's a good thing to do that. All right, is there a motion then to recommend to the council to change the fees to the proposal?
Yeah, I'll make a motion that we, to submit this to our city attorney to upgrade the fees to what they normally were and present to the council. If you find the correct company, authorize the mayor to go and review, but, present it against our council.
All right, you get on? Yep. She's good. All right. Is there a second? Second. All right, any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. All those opposed? All right.
Thank you.
Now, it's probably just an executive decision on getting the company to do it, unless you want us to make a recommendation on whether or not to get the company or make another motion on it.
I would just let the chief do that.
Chief, between the chief and the mayor.
Yeah, that's, I don't know anything about this, but he does.
Yeah, but does not require council action.
All they do is recommend that company that they feel comfortable with.
All right. Chief, anything else? I mean,
No, sir.
this is not a special meeting, so we're not limited
No,
necessarily to the agenda. So, all right. Chief, you have anything or?
I'd like to update you on body cams. I know that's kind of keeps coming up. That was our discussion at the last safety council meeting, and just update you where we're at with that. We are in the process of, I think our biggest component first is to hire a full-time person And once we get that in place, I've just sent a job description over to the HR director. And once that, he gets that completely written and gets the grade for the pay established, then we'll be able to get that posted and hopefully get someone hired in. And I think that is the key component as we move forward with the implementation of body cameras. And then as we get someone hired, we'll move forward with a pilot program where we'll narrow it down to 3 companies. We've already been in contact with a couple companies now, and we'll do a pilot program for several months. We're in the process of developing a policy, and then we'll move forward. But the number one key component right now is getting a full-time person hired that will be able to manage open records and work with the technology with that. And they need to be on board from the beginning of the program. And so that job description has been sent over, and we're waiting on that as we hopefully can move forward to get someone hired in that position.
I know you and I discussed the email I got from one person that was concerned, so we had all the, since we do the internet, we ought to be able to store the videos ourselves, but it's not simply, you and I have talked, it's not simply a storage issue. It's an issue also having somebody with the technical ability and having equipment where if you have a juvenile that's on there and somebody has open records request, that person has to be blurred out, and the company that we're looking at would do that, and they would have more expertise and be able to pull up these films because it'd be their system and their software and that they'd be familiar with it. And otherwise, we'd have to train someone else, and for $15,000 or $20,000, and benefits, I don't think we can pay somebody the time it would take to do all that.
Right, it really comes down to, it just really comes down to manpower. And once we have the body cams, the open record requests are going to be quite extensive. And we have a great IT department here at the city of Bardstown, but they don't have the manpower to handle those requests as they come in. And having the cloud storage and having the videos go there is the best way to have that. A lot of the companies that we're looking at, where they're quoting the $15,000 to $20,000 cost for the storage for an agency our size, is what we're looking at. And a lot of these companies come with a part where they do the redactions for us, and that's part of that cost. And so that's a big component for us but we still have to have a person in place that tells them exactly what time on the video where we're needing the video to be redacted. Where you may say at 1 minute and 15 seconds there's a juvenile that the face needs to be blurred out. So we still have to have a person in place that can go through that and manage where and when those videos need to be redacted. We send that back to the company, they redact the video, and they send that link back. The amount of time that it would put on our IT here, they would have to bring more staff on. They couldn't handle that, and it would, because you're dealing with open records and you're on a time restraint of when that has to be turned over, and it would put that at the #1 priority for everything and put all their other projects on hold. And so that's just too time consuming to take over for the entire city's IT program.
They wouldn't know what to do. They wouldn't know what they were doing anyway.
Right. Yeah, they would know the technical aspect, but they wouldn't know about, okay, a juvenile has to be taken out of this, or this is part of our ongoing police investigation, so they're not entitled to this, this part of the video. But there's a whole lot of things with the open records requests that are issues that the IT people don't know, and you need that a little bit closer to the police department than the delegate to the IT department.
I agree. Is this a full-time or part-time?
It's going to be a full-time position.
Okay. And so realistically, what's the time frame that we're looking at to, I know you sent the rec over for the hiring of the person, but realistically, what are we looking at for body cams to, we got 3 months, and then what are you looking at for them to come out, to the public, to be worn out in the public?
I think realistically 6 months to give a safe number. I hate to put a time frame on it, because if we can get it implemented quicker, the sooner the better. But I also don't want to give a time frame and then them say, well, why didn't you get that implemented by the time that you gave us? because I don't want to implement something that's going to fail. I want to make sure that it's a solid program when we implement it. And the key thing is first is to get the right person that has some IT background and somebody that can come in and do the job. So once we get the right person hired, that's the biggest infrastructure that we have to have that in place first. I think narrowing it down to 3 companies is going to be easy because we already kind of know, we already kind of are already working on that. So that's going to be easy for us to get 3 companies to start a pilot program. The pilot program is not going to be a long, drawn-out program. We just want to get the companies out there, get the cameras out there in the field, see which ones are going to be the most durable, see what has the best pictures, and see what kind of issues, if we're having battery issues, if we're having technology issues, if we're having equipment issues. That's really what your pilot program is to see which ones are holding up best in the field. And then we can narrow it down from there. We're kind of doing, like I said, we're doing the policy development now, so we're doing that and having that in place. And then it's really the training for the officers of how to use the equipment, and that won't be that intensive. So it's really, once we just get these key pieces in line, we'll get it implemented. That's why I keep saying I don't want to rush it, but I also don't want to delay it if it helps at all. We just want to make sure that once the program's in place, it's here to stay. And I want to make sure that it's good, it's solid, and it has a good foundation as we do it.
And I think the other issue the person brought up was that we want to own the videotapes, but I mean, we have to own the videotapes, whatever company we get, or if they said, okay, we get to keep them, they are subject to subpoena, and we can get them back. They were worried about whether we can get them back or not, but we can get them back, I think, without any problem. And that'll be something we'll look at the contract.
Why would a company want to own them?
We would have the rights to them.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, that was an issue that was brought up. So, all right. Anything else? All right. Down to committee comments, which I think we commented, but any more comments?
No, I think everything's going good.
Yes.
Haven't got any crazy phone calls or anything, so I guess everything must be good.
That's good.
The next meeting is September 13th. I guess that should be a Thursday at 5 o'clock. All right? Right? Make sure I get it on here. Yep, it's on. All right. No other business. There's a motion adjourned.
So moved.
Motion by
Second.
Council. Same 2 first and second, so you can just copy and paste that. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Like these short meetings.
Yes.
It went longer than the last one. Last one 17 minutes.